Evening, everyone. It is Middle-Aged Gamer Guy here. Welcome to yet another TNGC. And can you believe it is our 30th? Yes, our 30th show. We've done 30 of these. And pretty much I've dragged him through everyone but one, I think, is my co-host who knows the most. See, I've got it right this week. It's Mr. David Jones.
I don't know why I keep coming back. 30.
30.
I think I'd find something better to do by now.
I know, but we haven't, which is a bit worrying. Welcome. Hello, Prince. Good to see you. Mia. Mia says, fucking hell, I've known you for 30 weeks now. Yeah, it's true. You first joined us on one of the shows. So that's true. Oh, but it's nice to celebrate. She says, also, hey, Dave. Hey, dumbass.
Hey, Mia.
Fucking Mia.
They're all lovely to you, aren't they?
Yeah, they love me, really. Yeah, God, Christ. What a way to celebrate 30 weeks. Cheers, Mia. Anyway, so what have you been up to this week, Dave?
Oh, I've mostly just been playing just one game for the last couple of weeks, just because I wanted to get it finished. It's one of Mia's favourites. Good old Cyberpunk.
Hey!
I thought I'm finally just going to sit down and play it and finish it off, because if I don't do it now, with all the other good stuff that's lined up to come out, I'm probably just not going to do it. It's just going to sit there half done.
Sorry, can I just check that? You said with all the other good stuff, so you're actually saying that you think Cyberpunk's good?
No.
Good. Just to clarify, because it's the way you phrased that.
No, I meant all the other good, better games coming out in the future.
Okay, that's fine.
The latest patch doesn't really change my overall opinion of it. I did enjoy the main quests and the quests you had with the decent side characters, but the rest of it's still very average. It's a beautiful looking open world that's just full of mediocrity, basically. There's all these, just really still copy pasted, very bland side missions that I've just skipped past those, just didn't bother. Left so many icons on the map. It was ridiculous. I just concentrate on the last batch of quests just to finish the main story. And that I didn't think was too bad. They did that pretty well. I thought the characters were good that you met in the game. It's just all that open world stuff just kind of spoils it, really. And even with the latest patch, I still encountered a few bugs here and there.
I won't ask you what ending you got, because I don't want to spoil it for people who might do what I did and suffered for it for 17 weeks. But yeah, we'll talk. We are going to talk a bit about Cyberpunk a bit later on. CT Games Official, thank you very much for the follow. Greatly appreciated. Welcome. But yeah, should we get our guest in? And
yeah,
I think there's only so much. Mia says, I'm just lurking, going to get for some anime. Oh, nice. Okay, enjoy. Let's get our guest in. Our second ever show, we did a PlayStation special, which to celebrate the fact that PlayStation 5 was coming out. We've asked him to come back. Unfortunately, there's not that many PlayStation games this week, but he always has a good opinion on stuff. Can you please welcome our guest this week, Mr. James Brooksbank?
Hello.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm not too bad, thank you, guys. How about yourselves?
Very good, thank you.
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah,
welcome.
You are right. I am opinionated, but I do think there's some things on there that I think could be quite interesting, and I can't wait to hear about Xbox players playing them. So that'll be fun for me.
We'll see how we go. There are a couple of PlayStation games, and it's just a bit of a weird week. We had a week where there was hardly anything last week because it was all like what we call the aftermath of E3, like loads of games literally landed while E3 was going on, but then the week after, only 3 came out. So it's a bit of a weird one. This week we got 12 games, but as we were talking before the show, the funny thing is a lot of these are either games that would have come out on other platforms last year or earlier this year, or they're remakes again. So it seems we've got stuck in this loop. Me and Dave feel like we constantly do this every week. There is one new, there is 2, I'd say, new games that people are talking about. And we're going to kick off with this first one. This has been talking about a lot. I don't know a lot about it, but there's been a lot of hype. This is Scarlet Nexus. This came out last Friday. It's out for all the PlayStations, all the Xboxes, and PC. We'll have a look at the trailer. and then we'll have a chat about this, see what you think. And yeah, let's go with our first game for this evening, which is Scarlet Nexus. Here we go.
I think Mia's going to like the look of this.
Here goes. You two handle the front while I take the back.
Victory! The Scarlet Guardians have won!
It's not just our power. It's all of our powers working as a team.
Show me the strength of your resolve!
Where are we?
So that is Scarlet Nexus. And this is supposed to be one of the big releases of this week. I mean, hello, Moonlight, by the way, welcome. But Melon's like, oh, God, not more anime games. This is supposed to be a lot different compared to some of them. Some of the stuff we've had to judge through this year hasn't been that great. This is kind of got a lot riding on it, I think. But before I say anything, because I think if I say anything, it's going to kind of give away what sort of reviews it's been getting. Dave, do you want to... was this something that was on your radar? Are you excited about this or not?
It's not one I'd been following. I hadn't really heard a huge amount about it until recently. I've watched a few gameplay trailers of it, which show you a bit more than what that trailer did. It didn't really give you an idea of how it plays. It looks like a decent sort of action-adventure type game. I'm not sure if it's got any RPG mechanics to it, but these games often do. But it looks like it's got a good combat system. Reminds me of the combat from things like Nier Automata, or even like the Final Fantasy VII remake, where you've got the main combat actions, but then you can do other skills as well. And this one's got a lot of telekinesis to it, that you throw objects at the various enemies to take them out, which does look quite cool. So it's one I might have a look at. It just depends if I can fit it in with the backlog somewhere along the way.
James, what are your thoughts on this one?
I actually really like the trailer. I mean, I'm a big manga and anime fan. I played every Dragon Ball Z game that Bandai Namco have done, so I think they're good at that little kind of like over the top combat stuff. I've got written in my notes, kind of like here, that looking at the gameplay stuff, as Dave said, it's very reminiscent of the Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy 15, kind of like combat mixed with control, and throw Persona 5 in there, and then it's kind of like that's where it's ended up. I do think it looks good, and I would definitely play it. And as I was saying to you before, it's one of those games where I'd like to see, and I'd like to have an Xbox for that one game. So yeah, I actually thought it looked quite interesting. So yeah, that's my little takeaway.
Okay. So for anyone who's not joined us in the show before, we give a rating out of 10. The ratings are not from us. It's what I scour the internet for. And if you're in the chat, I'm going to ask Dave and James in a minute what they think. But I'm just going to tell you what they said about it in terms of reviews and stuff. They did say that the story is pretty much non-existent. It kind of, the first 3 chapters, it starts off really well, but then it gets bogged down in a lot of crap, which if you do get through it, eventually you kind of sat there thinking, so what happened to that character? And why did that happen to that character? And they didn't mention what happened to that person as well. So there's a lot of that's been open-ended. If anyone's expecting a lot of really decent anime cutscenes, there's not as much as you might think. Some of the gameplay is done through stills and text, and there's a lot of that. But anyone who's kind of into those games, you said like Final Fantasy and stuff, will be used to it. Generally, the fighting mechanics are excellent. It reminds me of another game. They said there's Code Vein, as well as the Final Fantasy games you've played. That's sort of like a hack and slash. But based on that, what do we think, guys, that this got out of 10 on average?
I'm going to go for an 8.
You're going for an 8. James?
Based on what they said, I'm going to go with a 6.5 to 7.
Okay, 6.5 to 7. Mia's going for an 8. We got any other guesses on this one? I thought this was a toughie because I saw so many different reviews on this one.
I deliberately stayed away from any of the reviews of things that you said that we were looking at. I was like, I want to form my own opinion and think it's rubbish in its own right.
Okay. Melon says, I'm going to use my quote from when I was on. It's not for me. A 4 out of 10. Okay. I could tell you that both of you are very close because it actually works out at a 7.5.
Oh, I'm going to take that one because I'm sure Dave's got closer to other ones in the past, so I'll take that.
I'm sure I have.
There's been some. Is it the nail on the head? There was one week where he completely failed on most of them, though, weren't there? That's only ever happened once.
I didn't get any of the one week.
Yeah,
it has to happen eventually.
It happens. You have a bad week. It happens to people. but yeah, 7.5. Lots of 7s and lots of 8s. This has been scoring, so 7.5 is pretty much where we're sitting it. That came out. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. Friday last week, that came out. It's out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. So if you fancy that, we want to get a... Come on, Moonlight, give us your score. We want to know what Moonlight's score is. What's this? I didn't even have a quote when I was on Litcher. I gave him bits. I'm not saying that word, Mia, and it made it so the show was funny. I'm not saying. Here you go. Moonlight is well known for a really harsh scoring.
Right, okay.
But I think there's going to be one game. Moonlight's going to give a really good score for, but I'm not going to say what that is. I'm not going to say that is. But...
Can you give an example of a previous game that actually managed to get off 0? Like that?
From Moonlight, the latest Elder Scrolls expansion, which was like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
She went absolutely mad for that. So she was like, yeah, 10. It jumps from a 0 to a 10. Hello, Lady Red. How you doing? It's a running joke. It's a running joke with Maggie Mellon. Yeah, it's cool. Our next game, obviously, because COVID happened, the Olympic Games didn't happen. But they're hoping that is going to happen later this year. So they've kind of pushed this release back. This is the latest Olympic Games, but with a little bit more stuff thrown in because obviously you're used to those games with Sonic and Mario. But this is the official Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 video game. Let's have a look at the trailer for this one and see what we think. Here we go. There you go. Short, sharp, sweet trailer for that one. You'll notice that Mario is not in this one. Sonic is in it. And I think to compensate, they've done this thing where all your characters can wear silly outfits from like knights, cowboys, you name it. This is out on PS4 and Xbox One. And this came out last Tuesday. As far as I know, it's not out on the Switch, Melland. That's the thing. I don't know if it's there. Hi, Circus. So no Switch. So it's a bit different to what they've done in the past. I wonder whether the Switch is saving something for its own version, maybe. But these Olympic games, James, have you ever tried any of them?
Yeah, when they were on like the Sega Genesis and it just had like 2 buttons, it's just turned into Adult Mario Party. That's all I can think of now. Whenever I see the Olympic Games, it's just, it's not my thing. I'm sure there's people out there that find some enjoyment about hitting the same buttons over and over again. That
Yeah.
you know, well, there's a market for it. Must be. It's not for me in any way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bit boring on that one.
No, don't worry. It's a thing. It's not something I would probably go out my way to get. The only things that closest that I try, again, track and field, as Melon brought up, track and field, like the original ones, playing that on the Spectrum, knackering my fingers into the bloody stumps. But then the only other closest thing to that was on the Xbox with the Kinect. But that wasn't Olympic Games, but they did Kinect Sports, which was a ton of games. But at least you were up and jumping and moving like the stuff they did on the Wii. So I think stuff like that needs to be a bit more interactive, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the Olympics is a very serious thing. It's a very, it's like FIFA or the NBA 2K games. You don't see them trying to have it jazzed up by Sonic suddenly appearing in FIFA. I think it would be entertaining at some point, just have like a random Sonic character thrown in. But you don't see that because there's no need. Whereas I think with the Olympics, I think the makers are very aware that the market share for those games is quite small, so they have to push it out some way. But there'll be some disappointed kids at Christmas if they got it.
Yeah. Jesse, hello, welcome. Dave, your opinions on this?
I was kind of expecting it to be a more serious one because you've already got Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, haven't you?
They've done two of them, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm assuming there's a Tokyo version of that. So you've already got that. But then this looks like it couldn't quite make up its mind which to be. So it just looks a bit. I think it looks a bit rubbish, to be quite honest. I don't think it looks very good. Yeah, it's probably not what that many people want out of an Olympics game. And really, putting Sonic in there, he's going to have an unfair advantage on the 100 meters, isn't he? No competition at all.
Especially against a guy with a suit of armor on.
Oh yeah.
I will buy it if there's a special feature you unlock where there's the COVID sneeze, and as soon as the COVID sneeze happens, you just see everyone, all the NPCs run away. And I think that could be quite fun. But
it would break world records if that was the thing. It was like
just sort of like crashing PlayStations across the world as NPCs are running away.
Oh, what do we reckon this is going to get? Moonlight's already getting in there quickly, going, I'm going to give it a 0 out of 10. Let us know what your scores are, chat. Put it in the chat for us. Let us know. James, I'll start with you on this one. What do you reckon this got in the reviews?
I'm going to go. I put it in the reviews. It probably got around a 5.
Okay. Mia's going for a 6. Dave?
I'm going to guess a 6 as well.
Okay. Melon's going for a 5. I could tell you it got a 6.5, which is okay. It's good, but it's not like amazing. It's nothing,
Doom Eternal got a 6.5 from IGN. So,
See, I find that weird as well because that's an awesome game. But what do IGN know? We had to review. We had Little Panda on the show a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about a horse game where you look after a horse. It got fucking 9.5 out of 10 from IGN. And it looks shit. We're just like, what does IGN know? I don't know.
Clearly nothing.
I think they gave it. I think IGN gave it a lower score. I think they did. Actually, did they even review it? I think yes, they did. I think they gave it a 6 out of 10. I think GameSpot gave it a 7, and there was a Metacritic. Depending on which platforms you had, it differed by 1 point on PlayStation and Xbox. I couldn't tell you which was which, but there was quite a few different reviews, and they all are all 7s and all 6s. But there you go. Yeah. Melon says, put a point between mine and Mia's, and there we go. We got it right. IGN was probably paid for a good review. Yeah, Bethesda didn't stump up the cash for Doom Eternal, but I don't think they needed to. No. So that's still my game of the year last year, I think, as far as I'm concerned. So there you go. That's Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, the official game, which came out Tuesday last week on PS4 and Xbox One, if you fancy some of that. Let's talk about some news. Obviously, we talked about the Xbox fridge, which was not a joke. The Xbox fridge that came out. They did something a bit more serious. They did announce some proper... I'm going to bring up the image here of the website. They brought some new gaming monitors for the Xbox. They're obviously going more with more peripheral stuff now. Let's bring this up on the screen. We can have a look at this while we discuss this. There's 3 that they've released. I'm going to try and scroll down this. Hopefully everyone can see this. These are all the new HDMI 2.1. These are for the Series X and S. So if you've got an Xbox One, tough shit. All HDR, 4K, 120 hertz. And they've done 3. So there's this one, which is the Philips one, which is a 55-inch, and it comes with a soundbar underneath. This is going to retail at $1,600. This one, I know. I was like, wow, $1,600, but it comes with a soundbar. So it's not really a gaming monitor. It's a bloody telly with a soundbar, really. The next one, so I'm not going to go into all the depth thing. Next one was the Asus, which is like a proper monitor, gaming monitor with this. This is a 43-inch monitor. This is coming in about 1,400 quid. Or $1,400, I should say. But what was it that separates this from the other one? I don't think there's a load of stuff on it. I'm not going to go heavily into it. But then the one that was interesting was the Acer one, which is a 28-inch monitor, which looks like a standard computer monitor. This is going at the reasonable price of $950. The one thing, though, it does have over the other is that it does have this special feature to stop eye strain, apparently. So, like, if you do 10 hours or plus, it will stop eye strain, which I think was quite cool, which the other 2 monitors don't offer. But this is what they released. I mean, let's get the opinions of people. I mean, I can already see the things. Well, I'll take those off the screen now. But what I mean, Melon was like, "Oh, this is interesting." Fuck me, 1,600 quid. Moonlight's like, "You can kiss my ass for that." Jesse says, "That's expensive." Melon was like, "I'll have that last one." Are they OLED? Let me have a quick look. Dave, what are your opinions on these? While we're
I don't think any of them are OLED, because I don't tend to use those for monitors. It doesn't really work that well for that technology, because you have to be careful about burning on it on OLEDs. So for a static, Windows, screen you'd be using for like Word and stuff like that, wouldn't be very good. So they tend to use IPS or VA panels instead. When I first heard about it, I thought that's perhaps not a bad idea, because at least the monitor is going to work properly with your Series X. Because I've got that problem. My 4K monitor does not work properly with the Series X. Works fine with PS4, PS5, Xbox One X. All those will display 4K 60. Series X will not with this monitor. And it's down to the way that PC monitors, they don't always comply to this VESA timing standard that the screen would pass across to the console. So the console doesn't get the information it's expected. Won't do 4K 60 for me on this one. So I heard about these, thought, that might be quite good. But then you look at the price of the bloody things and the size of 2 of them, which I think makes them impractical as a monitor you'd have on your desk for most day-to-day use. I can't imagine trying to use 55-inch with Windows. You get fucking neck strain looking around to see all corners of the bloody screen. So the only one I'd consider out of that is that, was it 28-inch? Is it Acer or Asus one?
Yeah, the Acer one, yeah.
But for the price of that, it's too expensive for me for a monitor. That sort of money, I'd rather spend it on, an LG OLED screen, OLED TV. Have that for it, because you get fantastic colours on those. And you can get them. I think the latest models have got the HDMI 2.1, all the other fancy stuff you'd want for the console. That's where I'd spend that amount of money, not on a PC monitor.
What do you think, James, with all these?
I mean, if I ever got one, I would love to plug my PlayStation 5 into it and take a photo and send it to Xbox, just to really. I mean, it's nice to have branded stuff, and it's obviously a marketing kind of like ploy. I don't think there's anyone that's going to go, "Oh, I wasn't going to buy an Xbox, but now Acer have done a monitor for it. I'll go straight out and buy it." I don't think that's the case. And I think that a large proportion of Xbox players will be home gamers. So it'll be connected to a 4K HDR TV downstairs in the living room, where they can sit on a couch rather than having a separate computer monitor for that. So I think Melon's right. I'd rather, the fridge, just to get...
Same here. We still don't know how much that fridge is yet. We're still waiting to find out. But yeah, I think everyone wants the fridge instead, don't they?
Yeah, it would Yeah, I wouldn't have to go downstairs, sort of like halfway through Final Fantasy. I could just go there.
Mel's just said it's probably 1,600 quid. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah,
With the
no,
free
no,
marathon.
yeah.
With the free marathon.
It'd at least be
Oh,
nice if you brought the more expensive those monitors. They just threw the fridge in for free. That would
Yeah,
that'd be a nice little incentive.
that'd be all right. But Moonlight still won't be happy because it don't come with a chocolate controller that you can't eat. So what's the point? Exactly.
That could get messy.
It's nice that they're doing stuff, but yeah.
Well done,
Not good with it. If anyone's crazy enough and wants to buy these come out in October and November of this year. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. But there you go. I knew a few. Oh, there we go. Jesse just said, I know a few endurance racers that would sit with expensive monitors. Well, I guess if they're playing games like F1 where you're there for hours and hours and hours and you got the thing, I get it. But there you go. I don't know. And Moonlight says, I demand to have a chocolate controller with a fridge.
I mean, he can keep demanding it if he wants, but I mean, I'm not a chocolatier. I don't think we have any chocolatiers kind of like around here who could.
No, I did get some at Christmas. I don't know whether Moonlight saw the ones. I don't know whether she saw the ones I had at Christmas. I got 2, but they look more like PlayStation controllers. So they're still good to eat. Nothing wrong with that.
But you can't.
And the buttons have M&Ms. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she knows the ones I'm on about. And the buttons have M&Ms. There you go. They're good. There you go. Rather have 20 of them than a Acer $900 and whatever dollar TV. But there you go. Right, let's move on to some more games. Now, this game's a bit of an odd one because this actually came out earlier this year on a lot of other platforms. I think on PC, PlayStation, I think even Switch, but I might be wrong with that, so don't quote me on that. But it's finally wound its way onto Xbox, and God help me if I'm going to get the name of this one right. This is, and I'm going to use this to help me get this, the Dungeon of Nahalbek, the Amulet of Chaos. God help me. That's probably not right. Let's play the trailer and see what we think. Here we go.
Not bad. I love it when things go smoothly. Seriously? This adventure sucked ass.
Dwarves are always so negative. I thought it was fun.
It sucked. No, it didn't. We successfully explored a remarkable dungeon. A crappy ruin, you mean? We earned experience and looted some high-quality stuff.
I got sandals that match my green skirt.
Still, I did lead a team of 8. Yeah, 1 dwarf and 7 dweebs.
I'm not a dweeb, you barstool.
We had some interesting quests.
I met a lot of nice people.
Who threw stones at you. And I gotta say, we did fight a lot of battles.
I got to shoot battles.
That the game totally killed on PC. People loved it.
Oh, yay! I got a good grade for once.
And we had the best sales in video game history. Really? I mean, 7?
But is it all over now?
No way! We're coming out on consoles with a brand new adventure.
I love gamepads and teensy little buttons. Though, not sure I'll come if the dwarf's gonna be there.
I'm your worst nightmare, turnip face. Come on, stay. Zombies! There's gonna be super friendly creatures. Yeah. It'll be in a cozy, nicely lit place. Yippee! And with easy battles. What the bullshit? Yeah, well, I'm not gonna tell the truth, am I? Oh, man. Being the party leader is so hard. You're not my leader. You couldn't lead a chicken coop.
Well, I think that it...
Let's stop it. Turnips are not equipped for thinking.
At least I don't stink like runny old goat poop.
Oh, boy. This is gonna be a long one.
There you go. Possibly a rather irritating trailer, I thought, for this one. That is the Dungeon of Nahalbek, which, as I say, has been out on PC and other consoles, but has finally made its way onto Xbox and got released Thursday last week. Another dungeon crawler, Dave.
Yeah, another one. But this one's more of a, an RPG, isn't it, compared to stuff like Diablo, which is just your, not forgetting your loot all the time. Looks okay, graphics-wise. Not going to set the world on fire. The humour in the trailer is okay, but it might be one of those ones where it's perhaps better in the game than really condensed with some annoying voices. I don't know. I believe he's actually based on a popular audio comedy series that has been around for a while. Never heard of. I had to look that up. But it's obviously sort of a popular thing, so to turn it into a game, following the RPG route, but throwing lots of humour in there. So it might be a bit more light-hearted compared to some of the other more serious ones that we play and play to death on, a little bit boring. So this could be okay. I don't know though. We'll have to wait and see.
James, your thoughts on this one?
So, I mean, when I first saw the gameplay trailer, before I saw that, I just thought, I mean, it was a cartoony Diablo with a bit of stick of truth kind of like thrown in. The combat very much looked like that. The combat from Stick of Truth and the other South Park one that they did, that square box kind of like movement. So, and then I saw the trailer, and then I thought, I like the humor. They're trying to go the South Park route. But all I could see from that trailer, it just made me think it was a mobile app game, and I was expecting like a transaction to come up. So like it just felt like something that I'm going to get microtransaction at, but it probably isn't. I just felt that it was a bit mobile appy kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, it's not really my thing.
Your cup of tea. No. OG Flicker, thank you so much for the raid. Great to see you, OG. Thank you for the follow. I know OG is a good friend of T-Funk, who we've had on the show a number of times. So great to see you, OG. Thank you so much. And hello, Zenkai. Hello, Sammy. How are you, Sammy? Hello, Becca. All popping in now, which is great to see you. Great to see all of you. Thank you. Totally didn't guide the raid. Oh, did you not, Zenkai? Thank you, mate. I think they probably said, who should we raid? And he went middle. Fine. Wicked. Demon Angel, hello. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Thank you for the lurk. So what do we say about this then? All I can really comment is this is one of the annoying things, because it's one of those things that I think the trailer doesn't do it possibly justice, because from all the reviews that I'm reading, I'm not going to try and give anything away, but I think that trailer does fall well flat. I'm not going to say I'm that keen on these type of games, but seeing as I've seen the reviews and the fact I do like the South Park ones, because I'm playing this Fractured Butthole now, I'm streaming that at the moment. Even though I had to think about it, I'm bloody streamed it last night. I'd probably give it a go. So what do we reckon this is going to get? Dave, I'll start with you.
Well, since you're saying it's been getting good reviews, I'm going to guess probably around about an 8. But if I was just going to go off that trailer, I would just end up scoring it lower, like a 6. But let's go for an 8, see what it actually gets.
Going for an 8. What does the chat say? James, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm going to go with an 8 as well. Yeah, I can't see it getting over an 8, but I've been pleasantly surprised by things in the past. So.
OG, thank you for popping in for the raid. Appreciate that and bringing your audience over. Thank you. Jesse says, I thought it looked fun. I'll give it a 7. Mia goes for a 6, and there we go. No, it's downhill from now. Melon gives it a 1. Moonlight gives it a 0. I know I could trust
no
you.
surprise there.
No. Zenkai says, I don't know what it was because I came in after the thing, but I'll give it an 8. So this actually did get an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the one thing in the trailer that gave it away is it did win some game awards when it came out on PC and stuff. So it obviously is better. I don't think that trailer does it justice, I'll be honest. But seeing some gameplay, I'm like, okay, it's a bit more cutesy. It's a bit more kid-friendly. Yeah, I don't know. It gets an 8 out of 10. And that's the Dungeon of Nullbrook, blah, blah, blah. Came out on Xbox on last Thursday, but you can pick it up on PlayStation and PC. Literally, I think it came out about 6 to 9 months ago. So I think it actually came out last year. So you can go check that out. Next game, also a game that came out on actually PlayStation. It came out 9 months ago, but literally landed on Xbox and Switch Wednesday last week. This is a revamped version of a beloved classic, and I think this is the one that Moonlight's going to actually give a good review for. I hope so. This is Worms Rumble. Let's check out the trailer and see what we think.
Rated everyone 10 and up.
Reloading.
So there you go. That is Worms Rumble. So anyone who remembers, I know Becca said, Becca actually said, I remember this. I remember Worms, and a lot of us did. And it was a turn-based strategy game, which we absolutely loved. This has been getting a very mixed response. It came out on the PlayStation. As Zenkai said, it was out on PS Plus back in February. So literally about 3 months after it came out. All I could say about this one is a lot of people who like Worms, as it were, might not like this. However, it's almost like they've basically gone the same route as they did with Plants vs. Zombies. Plants vs. Zombies was a game where you had your plants, puzzle game, you picked it all. And then they had 3 very successful games like that where you run around and shoot each other. And I have to say, I've streamed all 3 of those, and they're really good fun to play with people. So they're going down that route. As Big Jesse says, I have very mixed feelings about this because the original Worms was my childhood. True Law, hello, by the way. Thank you for popping in, dude. Great to see you. Melland is the same. Vibrant, kid-friendly multiplayer game. Unfortunately, it's one of those games that would make me feel ill as it feels 2D and doesn't show the whole map. But I think I would give this a go just to see how it is. But what do we think of this? Because are we sick to death of too many multiplayer deathmatch games? James, I'm going to start with you.
I don't think, anything that gets people to compete friendly with people across the world with minimal animosity and physical violence, I'm all in favor of. I think I played Worms as a kid. I played it on the SNES with its horrible controlling the aim with the D-pad and playing it on the PC. And I loved it. I loved playing Worms. I know I can understand why they changed the gameplay format because in this world of 3D/2D kind of like transitions, that kind of like strategic sort of gameplay doesn't necessarily. It's a similar thing to Final Fantasy. They had to change the combat style to go with the new technology. I would give it a go. I would definitely give it a go if I had a kid who was 6 years old or 7 years old and put them on there and have a friendly competition and be happy that I'm getting beat by him because I don't really play this version. So I think it's definitely one for the family to kind of like get around.
Okay. Dave, your thoughts on this one?
So it looks okay. As James was saying, they might have to mix up the way it plays to appeal to a more modern audience. But I remember it back as it was the original 2D turn-based style back in the day, firing bazookas over at people, lobbing holy hand grenades over. I think they were exploding sheep as well, things like that. It was That was good, crazy fun. I'd kind of forgotten this series is even still going, because the last time I played one of these was when it had moved to 3D back on the original Xbox. I played that version a fair bit, local co-op with a friend, and that was okay, but it still wasn't as good when it moved to full 3D. Whether this can still recapture some of its magic, I suppose if it's still got some of the good weapons in there and they're still fun, then maybe, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I think I've probably got it as well, because Zenko says it was in PS Plus in February. I probably claimed it and just completely forgot about it. So I might have to look back in my library, see if I've got it. Have a blast at it.
Okay. I can say you just for once, Worms WMD was like the last proper Worms release to come out a couple of years ago, because I've got that on my Xbox, and that's more the classic style as we know and love. So that's great fun. I love that. But yeah, I mean, I've said I'm going to consider this for a future VIP stream with the community. We've even put it up to vote already, and people are voting on it. It's doing quite well, and if people want to give it a try. I mean, the bonus is if you got an Xbox, it's free because it's on Game Pass. It's already been on PS Plus, so make sure that you've downloaded it if you can. I think the only one that will be a bit out of is Switch. You've got to pay for it on a Switch. So if you're playing on Switch, you're going to be a bit ad for it. But for the fact you have been able to or can get it on other formats free of charge is pretty awesome. What scores do we reckon, guys? What scores? There's a few there. Becca's said a 5 or 6. Moonlight's going to go for a 4. Now, I thought she was going to be psyched for this, but after seeing the trailer, that's probably one of the highest scores I'll give, unless it's a Bethesda game. And then, yeah, what do you reckon, guys?
I'm going to go 6 for this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's already said I'm copying Kim for the second time, but I'm going to go with 6 as well. I don't think they're going to heap a lot of praise on it to kind of like clamber over. I think it's middle of the range.
Okay. Well, you should have gone for a 7. You got a 7 out of 10. They actually said I think they think that hardcore Worms fans might dislike this, but the majority of people who've tried it were pleasantly surprised at how much good fun it actually was. And I think, as they say, sometimes you can't knock a free game sometimes, which is good fun. So, yeah, that's Worms Rumble, which came out on PlayStation before Christmas, but is out on Xbox and Nintendo Switch as of last Wednesday. It gets a 7 out of 10. A little bit more game news now. Some exciting news, we hope, not that it's happening in this country, but it might lead to some things happening, is that the first live gaming show has been announced, which we are keeping our fingers crossed that goes ahead, because if it goes ahead, I'll explain why in a minute. But PAX West has been announced for September the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. They are hoping it will be the first fully live gaming show that people can go and play games, everything from indie and AAA games. Weirdly enough, the last ever game show in the whole of the world to happen was PAX East, funny enough, which is run by ReedPop, which took place about 2 weeks prior to COVID lockdown, also in America. Interestingly enough, ReedPop is the company that owns EGX, which is due to take place in October at Excel in London. So I'm hoping that if PAX West goes ahead, that EGX is going to happen. So this is why I'm kind of like, got my fingers crossed. We've seen a lot of gaming events, especially like E3 this year, have all been digital. We know it's not the same. Guys, I just want your opinion. How desperate are you to get back to live gaming events and going checking out games and demos and stuff, rather than just having to sit and watch a load of presentations on a screen?
I've never been, that's basically my gaming live experience, is just watching things on a screen, because I've never been able to go across to America to actually go and visit things. I would feel really happy for those people who were there and to be kind of like seeing it. But I don't know. I think that the gaming shows were, to me, starting to feel more like just buzzwords, kind of like festivals. It was just throwing things out to get people hyped and then immediately reap the news feeds from it and then try and push it. Look, Cyberpunk, like how much did they kind of like push Cyberpunk at the live events? And
Massively.
And how much were people looking at Cyberpunk as some sort of relief to COVID? And then, so it's great if they kind of like come on and they actually do some decent releases and some like this is what's happening. Then yes, I'll look forward to it. But
yeah,
I think it's all for the tickets and the people there now.
Okay, Dave, your opinion?
It'll be nice for people to be able to get back to some sense of normality. And the one thing I kind of miss from the shows that say Microsoft and Bethesda and whatnot did is where you got the crowd there, watching it all, and you got that one guy just getting really overly excited, just screaming his way through it. It was just felt really quiet and dead without all that. So it'd be nice to have some of that back.
There is that thing where they announce a game. And do you know what? It's actually quite a good game, and I've streamed this. I'm not going to knock it, but I remember when they announced Super Lucky's Tale, which is a platform game with a fox, right? So it's just a platform. Yeah. It is a good game. I've streamed it. It's actually surprisingly good. And they did the trailer, and there was, just after the trailer finished, the lights came back on, and one guy at the back went, "Woo!" And that was it. And he was just like, "Right, that's the death of that game."
Do you think that's the game? Do you think that's the game show equivalent to the Wilhelm scream from the movie?
Yeah.
It's just like one guy in the corner. They just always play that just at the kind of like the end of all the big cheering, just like just at the end.
I am looking forward to getting to gaming shows. The one I most like, which is very different to the others, is Rezzed. And unfortunately, that was going to be next month, and they pulled it because that is an independent gaming show. And yes, you do get Xbox and Sony, and you get Sega in there, but it's all the indie games. And I love it because you don't have to queue like a bloody like Cyberpunk queue. I think was 2-3 hours to get round it, or whatever, to watch some fucking video for 20 minutes or whatever it was. But you might have to queue for like 2 minutes, and then you'll get a go on a game at Rezzed, which I love, and it's loads of independent games. So I'm sad to see that that's not going to happen. But if I can get to it, I'm going to go to EGX in London. I'm just because, Christ, I've missed it, So it'll be good. And it's just an excuse for me to stream more content from the show, really. So I can play back things. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, we're supposed to be ahead of America. So I was a bit surprised that America's going for this one first. We'll have to see what happens because let's hope it goes ahead, but I'm not that 100% confident that it might. So we'll have to see. Dave's fan club's in.
Hello, Duran. How you doing?
There you go. Oh, and he pissed off on a lurk. Never mind.
Straight away.
There you go. The one thing I will say, I'm all for EGX, hoping it goes ahead. Well, as I've said, if we do get, because they've not even started sending the tickets for yet, if it does go ahead in October, I do want to do a massive meet-up with the community and try and get everyone together, and then we'll go for pizza and beers or anything after or whatever. So we'll just have a day just messing around and finally getting to meet some of you that we've not met yet, which would be awesome. So, fingers crossed that we do that. We'll think, hopefully. On to our next game. This is probably the second biggest game of tonight. Not sure whether everyone will think that way. But this came out on the Switch last Friday. This is Super Mario Golf Super Rush or something like that. Or Mario Golf Super Rush. I don't know. I've given up trying to learn the titles of these games. Here we go. Let's see what they can do with a new Mario golfing game.
The fairway is open once again. Tee off in the latest installment of the Mario Golf series, coming to Nintendo Switch. Study the wind and terrain. Take your time to think things through. Then swing. Enjoy golfing with familiar Mushroom Kingdom characters on courses filled with lush, natural scenery. Use features on the greens, like a shot gauge, to see how your shot will curve due to slopes, and a scan that lets you examine a course's terrain. These features can help you ace your shots. In addition to button controls, you can also use motion controls by holding a Joy-Con controller like a golf club. Gently swing the controller to have your character swing in the game, letting you easily enjoy the sensation of golfing. On top of all that, there are several modes with new elements that truly bring the heat to Mario Golf, including this one, Speed Golf. Here, it's always your turn. Everyone tees off at the same time, then you'll race through the course to reach your ball. Give it another whack to get it closer to the hole, then keep going. Outpace your opponents to come out on top. Your golfing skills aren't the only things at play. Make use of dashes and special shots to beat the competition. Oh, did we mention story mode? As a Mii character, you'll start out as a rookie and develop your golfing skills while interacting with various Mushroom Kingdom characters. Level up with experience points earned during matches. Then, allocate points to different stats, allowing you to develop your character however you'd like. You can also use your Mii in versus play. Put your golfing skills to the test when Mario Golf Super Rush swings onto Nintendo Switch June 25th. Pre-orders begin on Nintendo eShop after this presentation.
There you go. So that's Mario Golf Super Rush. I have never been so excited about a golf game. I'm not excited at all, I'll be honest. Joran says 0 out of 10 because of the bad music, and then -1 out of 10. Bad music, story mode, and Switch game. Melon was saying, when I play Mario, the last thing that comes to mind is, I'd love a golf game with these characters. Who is this catered to? That's true. I mean, they were saying that the very first Nintendo golf game was Mario Golf back in 1992, I think it was. Again, don't hold me to that. Redbeard, thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciate that. They then did one on the Wii, which I think was quite well received because obviously you got the controls, so you actually do the thing. This is the same as this. This has less courses than some of the others. Hello, RG Baby. Good to see you. Hope you're well. This has less courses, which they said was a little bit disappointing considering the Wii game had 10. This only got 7. They are planning DLC. As you saw, a story mode. Interesting. And I can't talk about that without giving you the score of the game, so I'll talk about that in a bit. They've got this new attack mode thing, which is quite interesting, where 9 holes appear and you've got to get the balls in as quickly as possible. But if someone gets the ball in, that hole disappears, and you've got to rush to the next one. And then there's this rush mode where you've got to hit as quick, collect coins, knock you over other people. It's almost like trying to play Mario Kart, but with golf, which is a very weird thing. So I'll start with James on this one, and we'll try and answer Matt Mellon's question. Who do we think this is catered for, and what do you think about this?
It's basically a golf game with Mario on it. That's kind of like all really it is. It's got everything that any other previous golf game, right down to the old PC games that my dad used to play, like golf games on that. It seems entertaining. There might be about 5 or 6, 7-year-olds who play golf who this might kind of like cater to. But, you know, you look at the success of things like Mario Party, where they had like mini putting golf. It might be a nice family. You know, I think that's where they're trying to hit it. It might be, it's a nice, pleasant sporting game, which is quite peaceful. You're not boxing someone or you're not using a racket. So I think that's probably where it's pitching it from. I won't play it, but it probably only because it would make me feel like I'm better at golf than I actually am in real life.
Dave, what are your thoughts on this?
I thought it looked all right. I mean, Mario seems to be able to turn his hand to pretty much any sport, can't he? I mean, he does tennis, been in the Olympics, does a bit of driving. Seems to be able to do any old thing. I can't say this game would appeal straight to me. I wouldn't go out and buy this, but it might be something that my daughter might like. She loves playing the Mario games, so if she wanted to get this, I'd probably end up playing it with her. You know, 'cause it looks like it'd be good fun in multiplayer, especially some of those modes they show, like the speed one. That'd be quite cool. That's really the only time I'd consider bothering with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably where they're aiming at. You've got the kids who like Mario, you've got perhaps the dads who can't get out and actually play proper golf.
Yeah.
So it's a way to do it, because at least you've got the motion control, so you can feel like you're swinging the club, practice your shots that way, which is quite good fun back on the old Wii Golf days when that was in with Wii Sports. That's quite cool. Played that a fair amount. But so unless my daughter wants it, I'm not going to rush out and buy it.
I think that's probably where they're kind of like aiming it for. It's just kind of like it's a Mario packaged game when we've got no Mario games coming out. So this is a fairly simple one that we can just get out there and keep. We can get a bit of revenue in for it. I think that's probably Nintendo's game plan, and I love them for it. They'll make money.
Yeah. People will buy it just because it's Mario, as you said.
I'll play it if somebody
you give it a whirl.
Yeah.
What do we reckon this has got? Chat, let us know what you think this has got out of 10. This was probably the game that annoyed me the most with the reviews, because all the reviewers absolutely trashed it in the reviews, but then the scores didn't reflect the reviews, and I'm just like, even some on even IGN and GameSpot and a few others were really going at it. And then they put the score up on the screen. I'm like, sorry, was this the same review? It really annoyed me, this one. They basically said the story mode is very lackluster and it takes a lot to get through it. Like, it looks like it's a big open world and you can do this and this and that, and it's clearly not. And you need to get through all the story mode before you can start unlocking all the good stuff. Once you get to the good stuff, it opens up a lot more fun games. Who said that Super Rush mode, and that is a lot more fun than the actual golf. And there's a clever sort of puzzle mode as well, where you've got a number of, as I said, there's about 7 courses, but you've only got 40 shots to do all 7 courses. So it's almost work out, right, which course do I start with? What's most difficult? Which one am I better with? And can I complete all 7 in 40 shots? And they said that's quite a good mode. But it pretty much falls down to that once you've done all that, there's nothing left afterwards, even though they are going to bring out more courses. So based on that, what do we reckon this scored?
I'm going to guess a 7.
Okay. James?
I'm going to go with an 8 because of what you said. I think they trashed it, but then went, this is a really bad game and a really poor story mode, but we're going to give it an 8 anyway.
Okay, well, Melon says, guys, I'm off to bed. Cheers, Melon. I'll see you soon. We'll give this a 6 just because it's Mario, but I'm sure Moonlight will give it what it really deserves. Moonlight's like, yippee! What do we reckon, chat? What do you reckon scores this got out of 10 on all the reviews? I thought these reviews were very misleading, annoyingly. But there you go. I'll literally wait a few seconds, and if I don't see anything, I'm literally just going to go, right, this is it. Well, I knew you were going to give it. Oh, thank you, Moonlight. I've just seen it as well. Thank you for the resubscribe on Prime. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that. And that's worth that 0 out of 10. That's another 0 out of 10. This got, Jordan said -1 out of 11. This got a lot of 6s and a lot of 7s. So it's a 6.5.
Right.
But the way they reviewed it, they absolutely trashed it, which made me think it was going to get 3s or 4s. But it seems to get like an okay thing. Lulu, thank you for the lurk. Appreciate that. I'll see you in a bit. So there you go. That is Mario Golf Super Rush, which came out last Friday on Nintendo Switch, which gets a 6.5. Our next game is not necessarily a game. Is DLC that came out Tuesday last week. We already streamed the first part. This is a 5-part new DLC, which is completely free of charge to anyone who has Sea of Thieves. We have shown this trailer off before, but this is the newer trailer that came out on the day of release. This is the new set of tall tales for Sea of Thieves. This is A Pirate's Life featuring your Captain Jack Sparrow, the Disney crossover. Let's have a look at this.
You will always remember this is the day your crew was joined by Captain Jack Sparrow. To the Sea of Thieves. Quick as you like. Chop, chop. It's time to bridge the worlds and take our rightful places as lords of the sea.
Now we have awoken, and we are hungry.
Perhaps I'll take ye on the grand tour of me fallen kingdom.
I was starting to think you'd taken a tumble. Not everyone's as steady on their feet as I am. This is the first place I've found where everyone appreciates my uniqueness. They're coming aboard! Keep your crusty claws off me!
Davy Jones wishes you destroyed, and I shall oblige him.
What is that infernal noise? That's Captain Infernal Noise to you, mate! Sparrow! Destroy that statue, and there'll be the double to pay!
Enough of this. Hear me, my daughter! Come more than beast!
Whatever they've told you, it's not true. Unless it's flattering, in which case, it's all true, but they left out the best bits. Savvy?
There you go. So that's the new Sea of Thieves expansion. We already played this on Friday. Now, I'm a bit biased, so I'm not going to say a lot. But for anyone who's not familiar with Sea of Thieves, what they've done is they've done a deal with Disney to add new content, which is staying permanently in the game. It's free of charge. It's 5 brand new adventures with Captain Jack Sparrow and other characters from Pirates of the Caribbean. But it also means they've added other stuff to the main game as well. So there's a new weapon for the first time ever in the game, because there's never been a new weapon since the game started. There are now new enemies, including these crab monsters, pirate ghosts, and also these sirens that can get you under the sea. And some of the mechanics are being taken from that and being put into the main game. Sure. Hello, fella. Come on, England. 3 lines on the shirt. I bet you were happy with the result, weren't you? And Duron, do you know what? I like that suggestion because when people come back, you can have an unlurk as well. So I will sort that out for you, Duron. I think that's a great idea because people use the lurk so we know that they've popped to the toilet, put the kettle on or whatever, and then come back. I will do that for you, buddy, because I think that's a good idea. So I'm not going to say much about this because I already played it. Dave, I'll start with you on this one. What do you reckon?
I think it looks really good. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I definitely want to because to me, it just seems like a brilliant crossover. You can't have like a more perfect, bringing together of 2 franchises. This seems spot on to me. So I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Looks like they've done a good job with Jack Sparrow, bringing him in, the other characters. And it's nice to see that they're adding more stuff in as well, like more enemies and you say more weapons. Yeah, we've been playing the game a long time, and it just kind of was getting very samey, wasn't it? Yeah. Nothing was really changing. You'd fought the same skeletons over and over and over again. So nice to bringing some extra stuff back into the main game as well. So I'm going to look forward to diving into this one.
Cool. James, your thoughts on this? Obviously, this is an Xbox and PC exclusive, so
yeah,
are you familiar with it?
Not at all. I do like the look of the trailer. Did look fun. I thought the guy doing Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow voice was actually quite spot on. And that's quite unusual. I'd probably end up watching you stream it at some point and just kind of that's probably my level of enjoyment for it. But I do anticipate enjoying watching you flub your way through it.
Yeah, thank you. What do we reckon, chat? What do we reckon this got? Because this actually got a review. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. I can tell you now that they've basically said this has got a massive advantage over the other Tall Tales because you can play this solo or with 4 people without other people coming to attack you because that's the main thing of the main game. So they've said for people who've never played the game before, this is a great introduction because it almost handholds you. They did say for people who've played the game a lot, they may feel that it is, once you played all 5, it's kind of like, oh, well, that was nice. And that's it. Because they say it's very straightforward kind of hand-holding with it. And we played the first one, and I agree. There's bits that it does challenge you. There's puzzles and bits and pieces that are interesting. But there's bits where it is just very linear, which is not really Sea of Thieves at all. It gives a false impression of what the game is about. But the fact they've added all that stuff is a welcome return. Let's go with the scores, guys. What do you reckon? Dave, I'm going to start with you.
I'm going to go for an 8.
You're going for an 8. Big Jesse came in there saying probably a high 9. There we go. James, what do you reckon?
I think it'll go for a 9. You guys have bigged it up, so I'm going to go with a 9.
What's this? I've just seen Zenkai's just found out that Sony bought Housemarque developers of Returnal. Is that breaking news, Zenkai? Because I know your finger's on the pulse, mate.
That came out earlier today, I think.
Did it? I've not heard that.
It's also a rumor that they might have brought Blue Point Games as well, because apparently on the Japanese Twitter feed they put up a welcome to welcome to the group, but with Blue Point's logo on, which quickly got taken back down again. So there might be another announcement later on saying we brought Blue Point as well.
Okay, I did find this comment funny. Is football coming home? And then Jesse said, "No, but official Rocket League is coming home." So there you go. Yeah, sorry, James, you were going to say.
I can't remember now because somebody mentioned the football and it just reminded me hours ago. So
fair enough. I was a little bit disappointed with the reviews, but I think I see where they're coming from. I think as we're playing this every Friday night for the next 5 nights, adding this bit in, we played like the first chapter. It was good fun, but a lot of it was like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. That's a nice homage to the ride. Oh, that's a nice homage to the film. And out of the hour and a half that we did, it was kind of like there's more stuff to look at than actually stuff to do. Now, whether that's going to change over the next couple of chapters, there were some horrible game-breaking bugs when it came out. They did do a hot fix on Saturday, which has fixed it. We did encounter on Friday. We finished the first chapter and we just got stuck in an infinite loading screen, which was annoying because we'd finished it. Didn't lose the progress, but it was just kind of, we need to restart the game and boot it up. So sadly, it seemed to get a 7 out of 10. I would like to get give it more, but it got a 7 out of 10, which, to be honest, is decent. And I think for when it's a free update, you can't really knock that. Cher says, you guys tried the new Dungeons and Dragons game. It was shite. Yeah, we reviewed that last week. It was not good at all. I think it got a 5 out of 10 last week, mate. And even them putting it free on Game Pass didn't even save it, I don't think. There you go. Has anyone seen the new F1 game? It looks amazing. Yes, I've seen footage of that. And I'm sure we'll be talking about that on a future show. Moving on, a bit more news. Jumping back to Nintendo. Yes, go for it.
I just wondered, right? You said infinite loading screen. In your opinion, what is the suitable waiting time if you've just finished a boss and you know you haven't saved? How long do you wait until you actually reset the console and cry a bit? What?
Now, see, depending on the game. See, with Sea of Thieves, I know you'll get your thing back. You can, because if you get access, the beautiful thing about that game is if you get kicked out of the game, say if you have a power cut, it gives you a 10-minute window to come back in. And if you, or your broadband, you come back in, it drops you straight back in and you don't lose your progress. Right. So that, I literally, if the screen goes dead after a minute, I'm like, right, turn it off, turn it back on again, go. But I know, I mean, Cher's just put there an hour. It depends on the game because if I've just spent 3 hours playing a game and it means I'm going to have to start again, I'd probably hang on for dear life.
Yeah.
Just to see if I could get it.
I'll probably say 10 minutes. If it hasn't loaded in 10 minutes, it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. So go make a cup of tea and have a snack and enjoy and then come back. So that's what, about 5-10 minutes, I think people are saying. What about you then?
I mean, I have waited half an hour before, and I've even kind of like just wafted next to the console a bit when I had it. When I thought it might have been overheating, I did kind of like go up to it, and I had to redo one of the Dark Aeons on Final Fantasy X because of that.
Oh man! I mean, Big Jesse says 5 minutes. Your snacks are way too small. Jesus, what sort of snacks are we talking? I didn't think it was a 3-course meal, Jesse.
I think he's going with a Scooby-Doo tower sandwich. I think that's like going for.
That'd take like a couple of hours. I don't call that a snack. That's a meal for a day, innit? So, there you go. 20 minutes. And you turned Jesse into Big Jesse. Cluey's in the night. All right, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Right, more news. Some Nintendo news. Pokemon is a much beloved game, but Pokemon Go has been getting a bit of stick recently. Because obviously the whole idea of Pokemon Go, it's been out a number of years, is that you go out and catch Pokemon out in the real world. Let's face it, there's been a pandemic. You can't do that. Nintendo decided to make things a little bit easier for people and put some new elements in so that you could find things in your own home or in a space or a certain area without you having to go to certain places. Now, it's like I know a local nightclub to where I live that actually made itself a Pokestop because people will go into the nightclub, enjoy a night out and whip the phones out and go, oh, I caught that, I caught that, I caught that. You can't do that at the moment. But what Nintendo have decided to do, even though technically the pandemic is still going on, is roll back all those features and go back to the normal thing. And it's pissed off so many people that actually there was a number of petitions, one in particular that had 72,000 signatures saying, at least wait until the pandemic's over. Do it. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that the people have a right to say, why are you taking this away from us? Or do you think Nintendo have just gone, screw it, if you want to play it, go outside? What do you reckon?
Well, it's not Nintendo who do this one, it's Niantic who do Pokemon Go, so it's them who make the changes. It does seem a bit daft to even think about reversing at the moment, because as you say, the pandemic isn't over. It might be easing in some countries, but there's still a lot where it's still gone to complete shit. They're nowhere near getting decent levels of vaccines out, so they're not going to want people going out and gathering. So it seems silly to even think about doing it now. Maybe this time next year, they could think about doing it.
Yeah.
But as to the changes in there, I think some of the changes actually helped improve the game anyway. So it seems silly to roll back changes that a lot of people feel improved it.
Yeah.
Made certain things easier and better. So if you got all these people doing petitions, or do you say 72,000 on the one, it will probably make Niantic take notice and have a look at it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't U-turn on the whole thing, at least U-turn on some of the bits that they want to roll back.
Yeah.
It's not like they're taking away a lot of this. I think if I read, it was like 4 features that they took away. One of it was the range of the Pokestops.
Yeah.
They were reducing the number of free gifts you get per day. I think this is just people like raising petitions about nothing. And I think that, people seem to think that they own this kind of like system, and it's just not. And things have to evolve and move with the times. And, the pandemic is still there, but people are still going out. I mean, I live in Liverpool. People have been going out and doing all sorts since April last year. Anyway, it doesn't, it doesn't matter around here. So I don't think that I stopped playing Pokemon Go a long time ago when I started looking at the average age of the other people around me playing Pokemon Go, and I went, no, I'm done with this one now for a bit. So yeah, I just get rid of petitions.
There you go. Sure, it's going. I think agree with Dave. I think the virus is not as lethal as people think. The government got a massive factor in this. I mean, I actually forgot that Pokemon Go was a thing, as you say, James. It came out, then 12 months after all the hype, they did like a big update to it, and then I started to hear less and less about it. And to be honest, I'm surprised people are still playing it, but people do love Pokemon. It's not my thing. Sure said earlier, not his thing. It's like, grow up. It's a kid's thing. But people got really hot into it. I mean, so much so that people were pushing each other in fountains and stuff in America because, there's a Pokestop. Stupid shit like that. But,
Yeah, I think the highlight of Pokemon Go was things like that, or go and pick a Ghastly outside Auschwitz. Kind of like, the real bad kind of like decisions that the kind of like came into that, people trespass. But the highlights of it have gone. And I mean, if it gets people out exercising, fair play. People need to exercise, I suppose.
Yeah. It's not called Pokemon Sit on Your Ass, is it? So,
I mean, there might be a new
that might be the next edition.
That's the what, isn't that it from the future in Wall-E? That's the future Wall-E version of it, where they're just in their
Is it?
car.
Oh, mate, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it's not a lot of bad things. Maybe they could have waited a little bit longer, but as you say, it's not that much to say, oh, God, it's ruined the game. It's right, here we go. I heard a musician say this week, it's good to challenge the fans once in a while. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm going to jump onto another quick news story. Because everybody knows it's the 30th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. Something has happened literally in the last week. This was announced last week. This is now available to get for all you Minecraft fans. This is the official Sonic Minecraft DLC. We're not reviewing this. We're just showing you this trailer because this is a trailer just to tell you this is happening.
Whoa!
Now, all I'm going to say about that is it looks fucking horrible.
I scared the shit
Well,
out of
Minecraft
me.
isn't a graphical looker, really, is it?
It's almost
There's
as
no one
worse
about
as
that.
when they revealed the original Sonic that was going to be in the film that came out last year.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take that over. That was just weird. I mean, it reminds me of that Jeff Goldblum quote from Jurassic Park, saying to you, "You're too concerned about whether you can do it or not, whether you should do it." And that's why, congratulations for 30 years of Sonic.
Yeah.
And all stuff. Great
I
stuff.
think-
But
It is what it is. It looks horrible. I think Minecraft fans are going to lap it up. As Cher said, geez, never liked Sonic or Minecraft, but respect to the folks, but not my thing. I mean, I think they'll lap it up. It's a special 2-week event. You can get a load of free stuff. If you buy it after, you miss some of the goodies, but you can still play the missions and levels and the characters. Is all I can say about that. It's nice they're adding this to the long list of things that are coming out over the course of the year to celebrate Sonic's birthday. But is all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that is pretty much it. I mean, I'll be interested to see how well it plays in comparison to the other 3D Sonics. Because when they move Sonic to 3D, basically all those are crap. It's never played as well as the 2D side. So it'd be interesting to see how this one compares to those. Is it actually any better than them?
If it does, then fair play to them. They've solved a problem that's been going on for years. But I don't know. I'm not holding my breath.
as long as they don't put Sonic's love interest from that one Sonic 3D game, the real life woman, as long as they don't try and do that story arc in there, I think it's okay.
Oh my God, I remember that. No. Oh, God. So many wrong things they've done in Sonic games. Hello, Mystic. Don't worry. You never have to apologise. But here we go. But to some more classic games. 2 classic games, in fact, both being reworked. This is the first one. This originally came out on the PlayStation many moons ago. This is now, came out last Thursday on Switch and all the PlayStations. This is the revamped version of The Legend of Mana. Here we go with the trailer. Let us know your thoughts. Here we go.
Om igen längtar jag efter dig. Utan dig någonting
Short and sharp. There you go. Anyone who's not familiar with this, it was out on the PlayStation originally. quite a difficult, apparently, game to complete. I will start with James. Did you ever play the original of this?
Yes, I actually did ages ago and found it very. At that time, it was. I wasn't in that kind of like RPG space when it first came out, so I didn't really gel with it as much. So it was kind of like I put that aside and for some reason played Bubsy 3D instead. As I said, I was an idiot back then, so I didn't really give it the time or patience. But after seeing that trailer and kind of like, I've gone a little bit back retro wise. I've been playing like the old style Final Fantasy games, so probably will be kind of like probably picking that up and having a go of it. So yeah, okay. I'm all in on that one.
All right, cool. Dave, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it looks okay. I missed this back when it was originally out on the PlayStation. I just kind of breezed past most JRPGs back then. Weren't my thing. Graphics wise, it looks nice enough. Yeah, I guess it just looks like it pretty much does through those rose tinted glasses. If you were to remember what the original one looked like,
yeah,
it looks nice enough. This one appealed to me a bit more because it's got real time combat. I was never a fan of the turn based combat in these old JRPGs, so I'd possibly look at this one. But I'll try to get through plenty of other games. This would be one that would probably appear in the backlog and sit there for a while before I got to it.
I like that. Cher said, yes, Busby 3D voted many with Superman 64 as one of the worst games ever. There you go. Demon Angel, thank you so much for the raid. Greatly appreciate that. How was your stream? Hope you're well. If anyone can give, I don't know if any of my mods are in the chat, but if you can give Demon Angel a shout out, that'd be greatly appreciated. So yeah, I mean, this is a remake. They said this game is very difficult, and it is still very difficult. Like, if you don't use a guide on your phone or your computer to find out what you've got to do next, you will probably get stumped. Oh no, everything broke. No, that's not good. I don't like to hear that. What's happened? Tell us in the chat. Sorry to hear your stream broke. That's not good. But thank you for raiding anyway. I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, if you like these games, you're probably going to absolutely love this revamped version. What do we think this scores? And hello, Joker Girl. And congratulations on getting on a Switch for your birthday, by the way. There you go. I just saw that in the chat. Guys, James, I'll start with you on this one. What do you reckon?
I reckon it'll probably get an 8.
Okay. Dave?
I was going to guess an 8 as well.
You're going to go for 8?
Classic. Yeah.
What do we say in the chat? What do we reckon? Give us your scores. Joker's like, I'm going to have to get this. This is right up Joker Girl's street. It got some very good reviews. I'm going to see if anyone else is going to put some scores in chat. I'm literally going to give it a few seconds. Joker said I would give it an 8. So everyone's going for an 8. Cher's going for a 7. Big Jesse is saying, I'm saying it got a 7.5, but for me personally, it's a 4. Okay. I could tell you it got a 7 out of 10. Cher got it right. Bang on the nose. 7 out of 10 for Legend of Mana. They did feel that considering it's been spruced up and redone, they've done a very good job with it, but they do feel that it shouldn't be so ridiculously difficult as it used to be. Like, they don't want it to make it hand-holding, but they're like, there are elements of the game that if you literally do not look up the guides, you're going to be lost for hours on it. And they said, games like that.
But you know, when it first came out, you didn't have the internet.
Exactly.
People somehow got through that game and made guides about it online. Yeah. If a game's difficult, I feel that some reviewers don't these days have the patience to actually play a game properly, to learn the mechanisms to give it a good review. Doom Eternal was a great example of that. A lot of reviewers, especially YouTube reviewers, were very much they didn't quite understand the game purpose, and I think this is probably a symptom of that. The story arc, if I remember correctly, is very convoluted, and you have to pay a lot of attention about it, like a lot of JRPGs. And so, if Yeah, I think some critics are just incapable of playing a game these days.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah, we kind of got used to a bit of hand holding now, haven't we? Because recently in games, they do put a lot of hand holding in there.
Yeah.
Which you go back to stuff we played when we were younger, stuff was rock hard. If I went back and tried to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES, probably that's the first level because that was proper hard. Or Super Star Wars. I tried that on an emulator not long ago. Fucking rock hard. That's what it did me in.
Stupidest game I got stuck on and I didn't have access to a guide was GoldenEye on the train. And when you got to the end and you have to use your laser watch, I spent hours trying to figure out how to get out of there before realizing that I had to burn them off. I didn't have a guide for that. I just had my mum and dad come and put the game down before you're grounded because you keep hitting things. So,
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Joker, thank you so much for the 5 core goes. Greatly appreciated. Lou, hello, welcome. Cheers. He said, I've had a few beers. I've watched England versus Germany. I need a pizza and water and sleep. You guys have a good night. Cheers, share. We'll see you soon, dude.
I hope he's not going to do all that while he's sleeping.
Well, I don't know. Can he eat and water and sleep? I don't know. You'll have to let us know, Sher. Wake up. I've got water and pizza all over me. What did I say? What the score was for this? I've forgotten where we.
Yeah,
7. I said 7. Yeah, I've lost track of where we are. There you go. 7 out of 10. There you go. Legend of Mana on Switch, PS5 and PS4 came out last Thursday. Another game that gets a revamp. I remember this back on the Master System, going back in the day. Let's have a look at this. This is Alex Kidd in Miracle World. It's the revamped version. This brings back some memories. Let's have a look at the trailer for this. There it goes. So there you go. That's Alex Kidd in Miracle World. That is out on all the PlayStations, all the Xboxes, Nintendo Switch and PC. Came out last Thursday. A revamped version of the much beloved game that I remember on the Master System and Mega Drive, to be fair. Dave, I'll start with you. Do you remember playing this original one?
I remember it being around, but no, I completely skipped past Alex Kidd. I was playing Mario and Sonic instead. Those are the ones I started with.
Yeah.
This looks all right though for a remake. It looks like it's perhaps a slightly better remake than say Secret of Mana, just because it's got a few extra features to help you out if you used to get stuck in it. So you got that infinite lives mode to help you out. So I'm guessing probably some bits of it just got ridiculously hard. If you didn't quite have the skills or the patience, you lose your lives and you'd be back to the start. But at least this way, as they say in the trailer, you can actually complete it this time.
Actually finish the game, yeah.
So it's nice when they put those features in there. But at least it's just optional. So if you like the toughness of the original game, it's still there. Yeah. It's got prettier graphics, which look pretty cool.
True. James, your thoughts on this one?
I'm all in. I used to have Nintendo. I'm a Nintendo person. My cousin from down south used to be a Sega guy. And every time he'd come and visit, he'd bring his Master System and Alex Kidd would be on it. And I'd play Alex Kidd and I'd die in the first couple of stages, and I never got past that point. But I still loved that. I'd always keep trying, and and when you sent me that list and I looked at the gameplay, it was like it was what it would seem like a how a revamp should be done. Do is like improve, but keep the core mentality of it there. It just seems to do it. Those everything about that, the infinite, they know exactly the audience that people find it difficult. The infinity lives, the boss battles. I think I love the switch to retro. That switch to retro, kind of like play it as retro or modern, just seems a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm actually going to, once I finish the game that I'm playing at the moment, I'm probably going to get a hold of this and play it because yeah, it looks like a lot of fun.
Cool. Let us know in the chat what scores you reckon this got out of 10. Lou, I've just noticed you've redone my taxi emote, my beat motherfucker emote, which has now got a unicorn horn on. Do you know it's the second one I've seen this day? I like that, by the way. Thank you for doing that. I'll bring that up on screen so people can see it. Someone else also modded the Mojo hype. Now he has the Fug Life. My dog has the Fug Life glasses across. So on the Mojo emote, which is quite funny. So yeah, let us know your scores, what you think Alex Kidd in Miracle World got. James, I'll start with you. What do you reckon?
I think that it should probably be given an 8, but it's probably going to get given a 7.
Okay, and Dave?
I'm going to guess 7 for this one.
Well, a little bit disappointingly, and I couldn't really get to the bottom of it. Maybe people have just not got as much love for Alex Kidd as we have, but it got a 6 out of 10. It might not be everyone's cup of tea. He said, I don't care about this game, but I would guess that he gets about 7.5. 6 out of 10. I remember playing it. In fact, you saying about bringing his your cousin bringing his Master System, it came free built in on the Master System, didn't it? Yeah. I loved it because you got on the little helicopter thing as you saw there, and the bike levels and that. I enjoyed that. I'm quite surprised by that score. But there you go. 6 out of 10 for Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Couple more news stories that are going to blast through because we've got about half an hour of the show and we've got a few more games to get through. Very quick discussion. So we've been hearing about the people that have been modifying certain games to a point. And there was a guy called Crollywood who had used the Far Cry 5 engine to modify and make a brand new version of GoldenEye. And it looked absolutely fantastic. However, he's literally been slapped with an order to get it all taken off because he was giving it away free. He wasn't charging for it. People could play it for free. He's had to take it down. And the funny thing is, it wasn't Ubisoft that originally put the cease and desist order on him. It was MGM, who obviously are from the to do with James Bond and everything. They approached Ubisoft and said, you need to do something about this. So they approached Ubisoft, said to Ubisoft, you don't do something, we'll sue you. And Ubisoft and then had to go to him and he's had to drop it down. It's sad that some modders things get put, but people were saying technically he was using different textures and doing this and changing that and doing that. So technically it wasn't really GoldenEye or that. He wasn't really infringing any copyright, but he's been given a copyright strike. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is just copyright going mad, or do you think they should have just let him get on with it because he was giving it away free?
I mean, the MGM and the owners of the Bond franchise are very, very protective over their IP. It is fair, and considering they did James Bond Jr., you'd have to wonder about the reason about that. But I can't. It's great to see that technical skill, and that modder guy will be able to come up with something else.
Yeah.
I understand why MGM did it. I don't agree with it because, as I said there, it's not for profit. It's like there was a Star Trek, like a fan-made production, which the Paramount kind of like, they said, tried to stop and then they let him go because it was for free. And I think that should be fine. But I also understand that if you're protective, and especially if they've got something coming up, like a new Bond film, they want to control the media message that's going out there and control everything about it. And that's just the world we live in now. So.
Dave, your thoughts on this?
It's not an uncommon thing. There's been tons of fan-made projects that I've heard about. Been done with mods on the PC that get the DMCA takedowns. It's pretty regular, unfortunately. Which is a shame because probably a lot of the time some of these fan-made ones will be a lot better than some of the official games you get. Because a lot of the James Bond games, especially the recent ones, have been pretty terrible.
Yeah,
I can't think of any that have been particularly great since GoldenEye. That's probably the last great one. There's probably a couple of reasonable ones on like the PS2 era, but recently I haven't had anything decent. Hopefully the one that was it IO are doing, the guys that do Hitman, hopefully that will be good, but that's still years away. But it's sad it happens. Whether he can do anything, remove the Bond sort of likeness from it, change some stuff around, bring it back so people can play it. He might be able to do that. I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It's a shame. I caught some footage of it, but obviously never got to try it. But a lot of people saying good things about that. We're going from one thing that probably could have been amazing, and now we're not going to get to play it, to something that frankly should have been amazing, but frankly still isn't, is the whole cyberpunk issue. Now, it made me laugh at this. I'm going to try and stop going into an absolute rant. The fact that they feel, CD Projekt Red, feel that since the latest update, now let me mind you, as Dave said, this had an update just recently, didn't it, Dave?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, which was supposed to be the update we were supposed to get back in March, CD Projekt Red. March. What the fuck have you been doing? They have now deemed the game, I quote, satisfactory. What the fuck does satisfactory mean? I'm going into a rant. Fuck it. We're going to go anyway. That just means it's average. So basically, you've taken a game that's shit and made it average. You haven't fixed it, really, as David pointed out earlier. It's absolute joke. I mean, why didn't they say we were feeling that we've caught up with this and now we're going to do this, this, and this to make it the game that it should have been? No, they said we feel this is satisfactory, as if they don't give a fucking shit.
It's kind
I
of
want your guys' opinions on this. Go on, James.
Satisfactory is exactly what my dad said when he heard my GCSE results. That's kind of like how it feels. It's sort of like going, we've reached a point where we just cannot be arsed anymore. So unfortunately you've got to deal with it. I'm still holding off on Cyberpunk until I hear that sort of like people have kind of like had a pleasant experience about it, because I really want to play it. When I first started seeing it, I was really kind of like behind it, but I've got two mates in work who pre-ordered it and booked days off work to play it, and they were supremely disappointed in it. So I was like, I want something that works. It's nice to have something that just, you don't have to download patches for all the time.
One day, maybe.
I don't blame you. I don't blame it.
I think when they're talking about it being satisfactory, they're more just talking about, the way, the performance is now at an acceptable level. They've got rid of a lot of bugs, not all of them, because I still had about 3 or 4 that I can think of I found when I was playing it the other day. My favourite, which did make me laugh out loud, was a bit towards the end where your character gets given a jacket, and they put it on the cutscene, and then you just carry on into the next mission. And when I went into the menu screen to check something, I realised that was actually all my character was wearing. Was just the jacket, naked, apart from the jacket. Even though all my armour was still shown as being selected, naked apart from the jacket. That one did make me just laugh out loud. Brilliant. So it has still got a lot of problems, and I kind of thought I was just going to play through it and finish it now, because I can't see it being the game that's in my head from all the things that they told us in the run up to it. So I thought I'm just going to finish it. So I'd even got to the point where I was driving around the city. I was just fast traveling.
Yeah.
Just close to all the points, just to kick off the last couple of good side missions and the main mission, just to finish it and get it done. Because there's a lot of other stuff coming out now. So Cyberpunk's it's got to the point where it's old news now. There's always better stuff coming out that I'm going to want to play.
Yeah.
So I just thought, forget it. I'm just going to finish it. Be done with it.
I think this is the issue. See, to me, I said I started playing it. Cheers, CT. Thank you. I started playing it on the week of release, streamed it for about 17 weeks every Monday. it was okay at best, but it had lots of problems. I said at the time after finishing it, I will come back to this when it's properly finished and I can actually play the proper Series X version. So many months down the line now, I don't know whether I can be asked to ever go back to it. I don't think any of my viewers are fussed about seeing it now because they've seen it all. And I don't think I'm fussed now. And I think it's just going to sit, that copy's just going to sit there on the shelf. Now,
yeah, I think so, because a lot of it just needs ripping out and just redoing from scratch.
Yeah.
As I said to you earlier, the open world, it's beautiful to look at, especially on PC, all the ray tracing. It looks gorgeous. Can't fault it there. But it's just the content that's in it is very mediocre. All the side missions are there. There's a lot of copy and paste, a lot of the same thing over and over. It's just not that interesting. That's why I started skipping through it at the end. I just couldn't be bothered to drive around it when there's nothing really there.
Moonlight says, I'm begging you, Mag, don't torture us. I've got no plans to do it. I said I was going to do it at the end of the year, but I wouldn't be surprised if the actual PS5 and Xbox Series X patch that we're supposed to get this Christmas probably don't even happen. And by then, I'll have forgotten about the game. But there you go. Lou says, I'm just waiting for you to play Destiny 2. I did play it. I did stream it, but it's going back a couple of months ago. We might do another stream. I don't know. I've got a lot to stream. There's a lot planned out for the next couple of months. But there you go. We need to crack on because we've got quite a lot of games to cover. So we'll blast through. In fact, we might just blast through the next few games just to go for it. This is a PC game, which, funny enough, has done the reverse. This has been out on all the consoles well in advance, and now it finally gets to PC. This is a game called Roguebook. Let's check out the trailer, see what you think. Let us know your scores in the chat as we do this. Here we go. There you go. That's Roguebook. I mean, all I'm going to say about this is I actually watched someone play the Magic the Gathering games, which has been around for donkey's years, and he was explaining how to play it, and I actually found that interesting. But watching that, I'm like, it's another deck building game. I don't care for that much. It's not really my kind of thing. But I think people who do like those games are probably going to lap this up. Guys, your thoughts on this one?
Not on the same issue when it comes to these roguelike deck builders. It's just not a genre that's ever grabbed me. I haven't played any, so I don't know if they're actually any good or not. But looking at the trailer for that, it wasn't going to pull me in. From what I was reading about it earlier, it sounds like you've got a good amount of variety to it. The way you can mix up your heroes and the different cards you can play during the fights. So if you're into it, I'm sure it's probably an interesting genre. You probably get some mileage out of this one, but I'll be leaving it.
Okay, James.
Yeah, I agree with just what Destiny was saying there. I think it just again for some reason the trend seems to be make PC games look like mobile games, and that one just kind of like you could easily put that site Clash of Kings or something like that on it. It's not my thing. I prefer Magic the Gathering, the card game where I'm actually playing with somebody. If I'm playing a card game, I'd rather actually do it with somebody in front of me
in person. Okay. What do we'll blast through this. What do we reckon this got?
6.
7.
It got an 8. I think people who like these games, they said it was very good. But yeah, not my thing. Mia said a 6. Lou said a 5. Yeah, surprisingly, I know he's like, you what? Yeah. Yeah, it got an 8 out of 10. Now, is this giving anything away? No, it's not. I won't say that. We're going to swiftly move on from one thing. I think this is the third time we featured this on this show, and every time it's been on a different platform. The first time it came out for PS4 and Xbox One. Then a couple of months ago, it got the Xbox Series X and the PS5 upgrade. And now it's finally made its way onto Switch. It's another remaster, but this is like the third time we've had it on this show. This is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, but the Nintendo Switch version. Let's have a look at the trailer for this. Here we go. There you go, folks. That's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. A lot with the people say there's probably the two best games. Now out on Nintendo Switch. This came out last Friday. Demon's like, what? I didn't know this was a thing. I used to play this. This is like the third time this has come out, Demon, in literally 8 months, I think. So you can get it on PlayStation, you can get it on Xbox, you can get it on PC, and now it's finally hit Nintendo Switch. And I have to say, it looks good for Nintendo Switch. It looks pretty decent. Guys, I'll go straight in. Chat, give us scores for this because we've talked about this game loads of times if you follow this show a lot. James, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on this one?
I'm not going to play it, but I have basically the entire soundtrack on my YT Music thing. It's sort of like I was 16 when this first came out. So me and my mates, we caned these games. And if I honestly had the time to sit down and relearn every single skate location and trick thing, I'd actually do it. Also, yeah, I'd kind of remember wanting to skateboard, learning to skateboard slightly after doing it and hurting myself. So kind of avoid that.
Nice. What score would you give it? I'm gonna mix it up differently. What would you reckon?
7.
Gonna give it a 7?
Yeah.
Okay, Dave.
I never played these when they were originally out. I played more of the Skate series that EA did, which went down more of the sort of serious route, whereas this is your arcadey combo chasing, high score chasing game. It looks good. Don't get me wrong. It's graphics look cool. It looks like it's pretty fluid to play. I probably won't ever get around to playing it though, but I'll give it an 8.
Okay. Lots of people coming in scores: 9s, 10s, 8s. Lou's going in for a 6. Said, why not? Go skating outside instead. But then the Demon says, well, I'm a bit clumsy and almost died, so I would prefer to play the game. But there you go. This gets a solid 8 out of 10. And I think all the versions of this that have come out have got great reviews. They've just done a great job with this game. So if you fancy it, you can get it on all other platforms, but it's out on the Switch. Came out last Friday. There you go. I'm jumping into another one now as well. Another game that recently had a revamp, but also came out on all the consoles, but now is also out on Nintendo Switch today. This is Destroy All Humans. Here we go. Let's have a look at the trailer for that, and we'll come back with you very shortly.
Rated T for teen.
There's a time for thought, and there's a time for action, and this is one of those times.
I take your point.
So, what's the name of this crummy planet?
Our destination? The planet Earth.
Crypto here.
How's the view from the safety of the mothership? Let's just say I'm glad I'm up here and you're down there. No filter planet. The human military-industrial complex. Exterminate them! Now! Charge! Crypto, I hereby give you official permission to destroy all humans! Crypto, my radar shows more humans approaching. Hurry to the saucer!
Perfect! First, communist spies infiltrated a small country fair in the American heartland. And they destroyed the whole fairground. Civilian casualties were tragically high.
I will not rest until we find the perpetrators of the fairground carnage and bring them to justice.
What a bunch of losers. Minds like mud. This planet is easy pickings.
You dirty rats! Let's get funky.
The humans are making a final push. Wipe them out once and for all.
If elected, I promise to destroy all Furons.
That is seriously messed up.
This planet is now a territory of the Furon Empire. Resist this.
There you go. Destroy All Humans. This is the remake that came out. As I said, this is already out on Xbox and PlayStation. I think it's been in the PS Plus things. You can get it for free. It's also on Game Pass free, but this is a Nintendo Switch version. Guys, have you played the original? And if so, what have you thought about it?
No, never played it. Completely skipped past it when it was originally out. It looks nice enough in the trailer. It's spruced the graphics up not quite nicely. It sort of captures that nice sort of 1950s American sci-fi feel to it. Also, it's got a reasonable mix of gameplay as well, ground and air combat to it. If you say it's on Game Pass, or maybe I've picked it up on PS Plus at some point, I'd dig it out, have a look at it. Looks like it'd just be good fun for an afternoon.
Okay. And what score would you give it?
I'm going to go for 7.
Okay. And James?
I've always wanted to play Destroy All Humans, but always seem to have missed it. I'm actually going to go forward. After seeing that trailer, I noticed that the guy who does the voice for the main alien also did the voice for one of my favorite characters, Invader Zim. And just hearing that in the background, it was just like, yes, I want to hear that more. So, I'm going to be getting that so very shortly, but on the PlayStation. So I'm going to give it. I'll stick with my normal 7 because I do think that they'll probably slate it a bit more than it should.
Okay. It got a solid 8 out of 10. It got really good reviews. The remake of it was decent. It's a very funny game. If you're easily offended as well, a bit like with the South Park games, you might not want to play it, especially when they suck people's brains out of their arsehole, which is quite a funny thing. But there's not just the shooting elements. As you saw, there's bits where you take over people and disguise yourself, and then there's dialogue going back and forwards with characters. So there's a lot more to it than just a blaster. So it gets a solid 8 out of 10. That's the remake of Destroy All Humans out on Nintendo Switch. Came out today. Last bit of news before our last 2 game reviews, and then we'll try and wrap up the show probably in the next 10 minutes. We're going to run a little bit late. But we've got a bit of sad news now, and I wanted to share this. If I can find the image. There was a lot of people are familiar with. Can I find it? Oh no, where's it gone? I've lost the image. Damn, I'm gonna have to find it. Let's see if I can do that while I'm waffling on about the thing. Let's get this. If I can find it. Where's it gone? I had it somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's good. I've got it. There's a bit of sad news. Fallout 4 was a massively successful game. And there was a character that you could be in it. And that character was not the greatest name, but it was known as dog meat. And unfortunately, the real life dog, who was the reason that, and here is, passed away this week. That dog was called River the dog. So we would just like to say thank you, River the dog, for all the Fallout memories. Sorry to say that you've passed. That's a bit of a sad news story, but I know there's been like a load of response on the internet and different on Twitter and everything to say wish the owners well and everything and say RIP to River. So there you go. I know that's a bit of sad news, but I did want to drop it in there because I actually feel that dog has become such an iconic character because of that game. So there you go.
At least its last appearance was Fallout 4 rather than like Fallout 76, because that,
yeah,
at least he went out on a high.
Exactly. Remembered
Very
for a
true.
decent game, not a very average game.
Yeah.
So there you go. So rest in peace, River. Wish you all the best. So there we go. Let's crack on. 2 more games, and then we've got to wrap up with our video. Our next game is another Nintendo Switch game. This is part of a series. This is the 6th game in this series. This also came out today. And God help me, it's another game I'm probably not going to be able to pronounce. But this is Disgaea 6, Defiance of Destiny. Here we go with the trailer.
Wait. I ask that you please allow me to join you as a comrade.
My, but what could be lovelier than a fated encounter? Surely our meeting must be destiny too. Time for the curtain. From this moment on, you are all part of the Ultra Chroma Power Squad Prism Rangers. I wish to protect my students, even at the cost of my life.
Should it become evident that your claim of defeating the god of destruction is a lie, you will immediately be put to death.
How's that? One more night.
Flowers are Bubby's because they're nice, like Bubby.
Get up, Zed. The super reincarnation process is almost finished.
I can't afford to lose. I've got to get stronger. Here we go. The final battle. Strategy RPGs are going to get a serious punch in the throat. Disgaea 6, Defiance of Destiny.
There you go. He said it better than I did. Disgaea 6. There you go. Again, another RPG. Totally. I mean, just Destiny just said, Ultra Squad Crown Prison Ranger sounds like my 6-year-old sister would say to name a secret club to sound smart. Moonlight was like, well, what if I don't want to be part of your squad? You know, what are you going to do about that then? Really quickly, guys, your thoughts on this one that came out today?
Never heard of the series.
No.
So got no investment in it. No idea if the previous 5 are any good. One of those anime JRPGs, as you say. Not on my list. Skip. I guess a 6.
Okay. James?
As the same for parts 1 to 5, I really couldn't give a flying fig about this one. So I've got to give it a 6.
Okay. I can tell you a little bit about the reviews. If you're into the series, you're obviously going to love it. But people who aren't into it will be probably baffled by it. And they said that there's all these characters that you bring in, and there's supposed to be ones that might be against. But then weirdly, in the story, it says, oh, no, they're against you. They're going to go off and do that. yet they're still your companion when you carry on the missions, which is a bit odd. And because of that, it got a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, well, if you like it, you like it. If you don't,
if you like it, you like it. There you go. That is Dissidia 6 Defiance of Destiny out today on Nintendo Switch. Our last quick game review, because I'm really trying to cram this in because we're just going over the 11 o'clock mark. This is something that's out on all the formats on PS5, 4, all the Xboxes, Switch, and PC. This is something a bit different again. This came out also today. This is a game called Curved Space. Let's check out the trailer. Here we go.
I see the lights flickering above. I'm heading down to where I do not know. I'm still not sure. Pushed me off the edge. Endlessly falling, heading into the abyss.
There you go. That's Curved Space, which is out today on pretty much everything. So it's obviously a good old-fashioned alien space shoot 'em up, but with curves. Guys, your thoughts on this one?
It's one of those sort of arcade-style twin-stick shooters. So if you think of stuff like Geometry Wars, it's probably a good example of that. That was more of a 2D one, but that was could be good fun. The action heats up as you get further into it, gets pretty mad. But if you like chasing your high scores, you can get some good fun out of it. That looks okay. I can't say I'm going to rush out and play it, so I'm going to guess 7 for that one.
Okay, James?
I saw it. I just thought it was basically they ran out of ideas and they had a board meeting and there was just one guy who came in still stoned from the night before. He goes, smash TV on a curve. And I think that's how they came along. I'm going to give it a 5.
Okay, going for 5.
Yeah.
Not very good scores coming from the chat. Jesse says apparently it's free on Game Pass. I didn't even know this was coming to Game Pass. It's obviously just landed because it's landed today. It's weird because it didn't even mention it in the Game Pass schedule of what was going to be free. So that shows you that they obviously don't give a shit about it. This got a 7.5 on average. I know. I can see James going, what the hell?
Definitely surprising.
I know.
I didn't think it would score that high.
I mean,
if it does appear on Game Pass, might be worth a quick look then.
Give it a couple of hours. Lou said I'll give it 20 minutes top to impress me. But there you go. I don't know.
Yeah. We live in a strange world. We live in a strange world, Paul.
We do. We live in a really bizarre, strange world. I'm going to quickly rattle through these. Those were our games this week, folks. So just as a recap for anyone missed it, Scarlet Nexus came out last Friday, out on all PlayStations, Xbox, PC, got a 7.5. Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 came out last Tuesday, got a 6.5 out on PS4, Xbox One. The Dungeon of Naholbeck out on Xbox last Thursday, 8 out of 10. Worms Rumble on Xbox and Switch came out last Wednesday, 7 out of 10. Mario Golf Super Rush got 6.5 out of 10, came out on the Switch last Friday. The Sea of Thieves, A Pirate's Life update out on Xbox and PC last Tuesday was a 7 out of 10. Legend of Mana for Switch, PS4 and 5 came out last Thursday, 7 out of 10. Alex Kidd in Miracle World on all the PlayStations, Xboxes, Switch and PC, 6 out of 10 out last Thursday. Roguebook, also out last Thursday on PC, got an 8 out of 10. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 out on the Switch last Friday, 8 out of 10. Destroy All Humans remake out on the Switch came out today, 8 out of 10. Disgaea 6 Defiance of Destiny also out on the Switch today, 7 out of 10. And Curve Space out on everything out today, 7.5. Those were the games that we reviewed. Just Destiny Lou says, when is Among Us on Xbox Game Pass? We don't know. We know it is coming to Game Pass, and they have said it is any time between tomorrow and Christmas. That's all we've got. That's all we know. But it is coming to Game Pass, as it is also coming to PlayStation, we've been told. Country Mama, hello, you made it. You've literally the last 5 minutes of the show now. We're going to close things up. Because the community voted for the new game to replace the Evil With on Thursday, the votes were counted and came in. It is official. This Thursday at 9:30, we will be playing Resident Evil Village. It is happening. We'll be playing that for the next couple of weeks because you voted for it. So to commemorate that, there's all been lots of things about, we've shown videos about how, I'm not going to play this whole video because it's 18 minutes long. I'm going to just jump to bits because it's quite funny. How they've modded Resident Evil 8. But what if we took one of the characters out of Resident Evil 8 and stuck them in every other single game that you ever knew? This is someone who basically modded Lady Dimitrescu and put them into every other game that they liked. I'm going to play a bit of this video and then I'm going to skip a few bits. So here we go,
Have
folks.
you ever sat down and wondered to yourself what the vampire lady from Resident Evil Village would look like as an aircraft? Or better yet, what she'd look like in Crash Bandicoot? A few months ago, I made a Bernie Sanders mod video and it went absolutely insane. So with the massive success that is Lady Dimitrescu, I can never say her name. With her massive success and all the people absolutely simping for her, I knew that I had to put her into as many games as possible. So I present to you Lady Dimitrescu, but modded into every game.
Right, so I'm going to show very quick bits of this. This is WK 2019.
One of the most dominant women in WWE history. Physically unparalleled
There you
in the
go.
women's division.
And then we'll
Honestly,
jump
I
to...
want to get in the ring with her.
We'll jump to this one.
What do you mean he won? Kick the shit out of him.
You come into mine.
Oh, bloody advert. Typical. Hang on.
Oh.
Sonic
Oh,
Generations.
Lady D, gotta go. She is born. Lady D when she notices a man thing in the castle. Oh, yes! Give me that man blood. Yeah, beat this even. We did.
This
Sorry.
one's for Lou.
We have Darth Mummy
Battlefront
Milkers,
2.
of course. On the light side, we have Ray Dutresque, and of course, the mob would not be complete without a tiny 1 foot tall lady. Look how big she is. I'd be so intimidated with that coming running towards me. Oh, the head's just clipping through the roof. Come here, man things. Oh, you put your
Crash Bandicoot.
This is the part of the Resident Evil lore where Lady Dimitrescu goes on a tropical holiday. Oh, let's go. Oh no, we got man things. It's a whole tribe of them. Get out of here. Oh, what? The death animation. Yeah, come on, you man things.
Okay, what else we got? The
Yeah,
Sims. This one's for
updates
Moonlight.
on where Eve Winters is. All right, boys, we now have our bachelor house and all the Lady Ds are headed inside. Is he already going upstairs with the girls? Dude, Kyle is wasting no time at all. What? Why did he lose love points? Kyle, what did you do? Yes, Kyle, you absolute mad lad. Discuss
what else we
local
got here?
fishing spots. That's such an alpha move.
Okay, let's get this
One of the
You know what? I
fighting
don't know
games.
if that voice suits.
Well, aren't we cheeky? All right then.
God damn, Lady D got some real competition here. Come on. Take that, you mortal.
We got Tomb Raider, I think.
Yeah.
Jonah, we
Yeah.
made it. I see the ruins.
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Okay, gonna keep going, keep going.
Oh, no.
Resident Evil 3.
Alrighty, starting in first person, all I see is her hat. Oh, my. Look, she might not be 9 foot tall, but she could still get it. Damn, is it really that hard to walk in heels? Haha, no, don't kill yourself, you're hot. She really be checking herself out, hey.
What's this one?
Duration of the flight. Alert any staff if
Flight
you need
simulator.
anything, and enjoy your flight with Mummy Milkers. All right, let's go, boys.
This is just weird. This
we
one.
get acceleration. All right, let's lift. Pull. Here we go. We're flying, boys. It's a flying Lady Dumitresque. This is amazing. Imagine looking up and just seeing
Minecraft.
this. Well, I think we've crash landed. Well, boys, you've seen her in all her HD glory. Now it's time to go back to basics. We have put Lady D inside of Minecraft. Honestly, even with such little pixels, she could still get it. Alrighty, boys, it's time to go after the man things. Oh, little one, huh? Get back in. I'll do it.
One of those rhythm action Friday night
time
funkin',
for Friday
rhythm
night
action
funkin'.
game.
I'm gonna guess it's the one that's titled MILF. All right, disclaimer: I've never actually played, so this is gonna be interesting. Oh. Oh my god, how am I meant to hit these notes?
There you go. You get the idea, folks. That is insane.
I admire anyone who's got the patience to do that and the actual skill to be able to crack the games with that. I have seen some funny Resident Evil 8 mods, like just sort of
We had Barney the dinosaur.
Yes,
we showed. We've had Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah,
we showed them off.
Yeah, I've seen that one. What was the? I've also seen some very thirsty Lady Nemescu. There was one where they took all their clothes off and left her in it. Like, yeah. We're a seedy but creative bunch, gamers.
Yeah, I nearly chose that. I did see there was a thing like the 5 best underwear things that they do, and I was just like, no, I'm not going to stoop that low. I'll go with the funny stuff. I'll go with this. But that did pop up when I did the YouTube search for this video quite a lot. So there you go. So to commemorate, we are going to be playing Resident Evil Village on this channel on Thursday night, as voted by you, the community. I want to say a couple of thank yous to people. Firstly, thank you to Lucy Ann for the follow, CT Games for follow, OG for the raid and the follow, Redbeard for the follow, Moonlight for the resubscribe, Demon Angel for the raid, and Joker Girl for the cheers. Greatly appreciate it. Country Mama is here. We also want to give a shout out to Country Mama because she missed it last time. Country Mama, we've been dishing out VIP statuses to people, and she missed it. We dished it. We thought you were still here, and she went. So Country Mama very kindly donated a load of money to us last week, and also I won a competition as well. So I won even more money, which is brilliant. So we want to make Country Mama a VIP officially after this. So can we, Circus, could you very kindly do a shout out for Country Mama? And what it means is that not only she will get into the private Discord, she'll get 10% off any merch. She can join our Minecraft realm and build that, and can join in any of the games that we vote for end of the month. Who knows? We might be playing Worms Rumble at the end of July. We shall see. We played Knockout City last Sunday, and it was hilarious. It was great fun. But you get to vote on the games, and you get to play on them. So there you go, folks. Congratulations, Country Mama. That will be active as of the end of this. So there you go. There is Country Mama's. Is that Country Mama's thing? Oh, you need to do the full word shout out, Circus. Sorry. It's exclamation shout out. I need to make that shorter to make it easier. But if you do that again, that'd be great. Go check out Country Mama's channel. Massive thank you to our guest this evening, Mr. James Brooksbank. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being back with us again.
Thank you for putting up with me for 2 hours. It's been if you sort of like get some Sony games actually on your list at some point in the future, give us a shout. Soon as God of War comes. Soon as God of War.
Do you know what? I will reserve that show for you when that one drops. I will, if we don't, because the chances are we might have you back before we do that one. But I will try and. We've never had that someone ask to reserve a show, but we will do that for you.
Yeah, I will definitely be getting that. I mean, we've got things happening in October. We've got a baby on the way, so I don't know if I'll be able to do it. But I'm definitely going to try and find the time. So we'll see how the one works out.
Well, hopefully, like you might get the first couple of months of the whole baby thing out of the way, because I reckon that's going to drop sometime 2022. So you might get to the other side of it and go, that's okay now. We can put the baby in the car and get a quick couple of hours.
I used to balance mine just on the shoulder because you can rest them there with the thing around them, and then just hold the control pad. You're grand.
There you go. Baby tips from Dave. There you go.
I have been having serious considerations about what games I can play at what stages of their development, like between 0 and 3 months, or 3 months to 6. I'm kind of like, at what point is it neglect? But, that's kind of like where I'm kind of like. So.
It's neglect when child services come round up to that point. You're fine.
Right,
Don't worry about
That's good.
Oh
But,
dear!
so
Oh dear!
Definitely will be catching up with you in the future though about that. So.
Awesome. We will do that. Zenkai's just said, dude, apparently GTA 6 has finally got a release date. We will talk about that on next week's show. I'm sure we will do that. Chelsea, hello. Thank you for popping in. She's been to the pub, played pool, let your hair down. Hope you've had a good evening, Chelsea. Thanks for popping in near the end. Oh my God, so much stuff going on. But yeah, I've got to go, baby. It's being loud. Have a great day. Thank you, country mama. We'll see you soon. I will message you in the Discord and let you know all about the VIP stuff. Dave, once again, thank you so much for being here.
Always a pleasure, mate.
We will be back with another show talking about games that are coming out in July and all the latest news. The only game I can tell you about so far is that we're going to talk about another classic remaster game because let's face it, there's no bloody new games coming out. But we will be talking about Zombies at My Neighbours and Ghoul Patrol, if you remember those classics, because they actually came out today, but there was no reviews for them. So I've saved that for next week's show. And next week's guest, is he sexy? Is he actually a wrestler? We don't know, but you can find out. We have got Twitch, I won't use the term sensation, but Twitch streamer, sexy wrestler. God help us. If you've seen any of his streams, he spends more time falling on his arse than he actually does playing games. But I think it could be an interesting show next week with having sexy wrestler on the show. So thank you to everyone. Yes, they are, Lou. They're all fine. They're still there. They exist. Nothing's happened to them. It's all good. So there you go. Thank you to everyone. We're not doing any raids. I never do a raid on the chat show. Take care, everyone. We shall see you back next week for another TNGC. I'm back tomorrow night. I think, because it could change depending on what Tunes says to me. I think we're back with Zombie Army 4 tomorrow night. Or if Tunes messaged me at some point, we might be playing It Takes Two. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Always change the schedule at last minute. We'll see what happens. Wherever you are in the world, have a great morning, great evening, or great afternoon. And we shall see you very, very soon. Take care. Goodbye.
Good night, all.